When energy amplifies, truth reveals and truth hurts. So currently the earth's energetic field is expanding, it is increasing, and that expansion in the earth's energy is also creating expansion in humans, energetic field, the bioelectric field that we all have around us, and due to which we are a living being on this planet, and we are a battery or a fuel to run this whole system in which we are living. So it's not that only the earth is supporting us to sustain life, but it is the other way around also, where we are also the facilitators, or as I said, batteries or fuel or energy providers to help this whole system to function as a whole. So when the earth's electromagnetic field or the energetic field is expanding frequently and it's changing, sometimes it's like it's intense, very intense, and sometimes it's less intense, but that expansion and contraction in the earth's electromagnetic field is a frequent thing happening currently, and due to which whatever kind of a dominant energy any human being is carrying within himself or herself, that is also getting amplified, which means that if you are a person who is dominated by emotions of greed, fear, anger, jealousy, vengeance, any kind of bad emotion which is destructive in nature, if you don't channelize that emotion, or you don't understand what it's actually trying to tell you, what is the cause of that emotion, and how you should navigate through that situation so that that emotion can be transformed, that emotion in the current times is going to be amplified. And same thing happens if you are a person who is dominated by emotions of compassion, love, kindness, again the same thing, bliss, peace, enlightenment, gratitude. So all kinds of high emotions are dominating you, then that is also going to amplify, and you will feel that you are naturally feeling very blissful and peaceful, or you are kind to people even if you are not treated by the same people very well or in a kind way. So any kind of dominant emotion within you is going to amplify, and it is amplifying. That is why you see that people in the current times are like seeing a very intensified version of the dominant emotion that they carry. For example, if somebody in your family is furious most of the time, is angry, or is always in that zone where they would just explode with lot of anger, then it is going to show up in much more intense form, where for small reasons they are going to be angry very easily and in a much more intensity. And same as with the person who is calm, they would just become more calm, or a person who is workaholic will become more workaholic, a person who is lazy will become more lazy if they don't work on themselves to bring their energies, or the energy in motion, that is their emotion, into balance, so that this whole energetic field that is available in our planet can facilitate them to come to a state where they will help themselves to ascend, to become a god like version of themselves, because we all are fractal of gods, and we become god first by accepting that we are god, second by taking the responsibility of transforming our animalistic self to that divine self, because just by saying that, oh, I am the god, doesn't completes your job. You have to come into that frequency, you have to change your emotions, your thoughts, your actions, everything, so that you are able to embody yourself into that frequency where you can experience that god like experience about yourself. So that's very important. And the main point for today's video is that in the current situation, you can see there is so much of like extreme revelations about people's personality. You had a different expectation from certain people, but they are behaving in a completely different way, because what you are actually witnessing is the truth about their personality, which was camouflaged under that smiling and good person's face, because truth is deep, and when it reveals itself, it reveals the whole of itself, and it's dirty, it's ugly, it's difficult to digest, and it's painful when you see the true faces of people. And that is happening with our politicians, with religious leaders, with celebrities, with famous people. You had a different idea about them, and today they are showing their true faces, and they are not doing it with the intention to expose themselves, but it's just that they can't help it. I mean, their true nature or personality is naturally coming on the surface, because, as I said, the energetic field of the earth is in such a state where it is just amplifying the emotion which is dominant in every person's personality. They might have hidden it. Like, for example, an angry person might have worn this costume or veil of very calm, composed person, but today you can see that what they are in real. And the whole learning out of this whole situation that we are facing today, where in personal relationships you are seeing that people were not kind to you, they were evil to you, they created hurdles, they created problems in your life, they were the reason for all the pain that you suffered in the past. But somehow, because of your benevolent nature, your core personality of being a provider or being a helpful person or being a divine being, you are always helpful to them, irrespective of how they treated you or whatever mess they created in your life. But today you can see it that they are the same person. You see what's within, it's coming outside, it's visible on the outside, because as I said, the energetic field will not allow anybody to wear that veil of like a false image of a very, good person and very kind at heart, which they are not. So that's because That's who they are. And I know it hurts a lot. You are angry to the next level. Like you feel at that moment that hurt so deep that you want to just rip that person apart into several pieces, because you just feel the betrayal so hard that you think that how can I let someone do so much of harm to me, where I was betrayed by them in the past and I'm still being betrayed by them in the present, just because of my foolish nature of being available for people who never cared for me. So that anger is real and you should acknowledge it, you should feel it, but remember one thing, that don't try to convey the person that, oh, I know who you really are and I'm upset about it, or don't get into a fight or an argument, or don't try to lecture them, because when they didn't change in the past, how can you expect that they would change in the present? In fact, in the present also, if you are going to involve yourself into this kind of a wasteful argument with these evil people who are just coming into their true self in front of everybody, not intentionally, but because the energetic field is such they cannot hide anymore. And they can be your parents, they can be your children, they can be your spouse, they can be your neighbors, your friends, you name it, and they can be anyone. And the more close the relationship is, the more it's going to hurt you, and it's going to make you feel like your whole soul has been cut into many pieces. But you feel the pain, you feel the anger, you feel the betrayal, you feel the that feeling of like how foolish I was, and how could I let this thing happen to me, and why couldn't I see the true face of that person when it has happened to me multiple times in the past. Because see what happens in a relationship like a parent child, siblings, or any kind of a close relationship, no matter how much you have been betrayed in the past, you somehow just feel that, okay, after all, it's a blood relationship, so I can't just give up on that relationship. I have to be responsible to certain extent, or to fulfill my responsibilities I have to be available for these people, even if they are my parents and even if they are evil to me. But your hurt is not something you should take it lightly or something you should ignore. You should see it the way it is. Yes, you have been hurt. Yes, you are angry, and you should be angry, but don't vent out your anger, don't go into arguments, because trust me, no matter how much you try to preach evil people, they're not interested in your preachings or your lectures, because to their core they are what they are, and they have revealed to you, which is the biggest, like favor they have done to you, because now you can cut the cords with them, or maintain a distance with them, or uh, protect yourself in whatever manner you can. Protect yourself, and that is what exactly you should be doing currently, because you can see around you that so many relationships are falling apart. There is bitterness, or there is this element of betrayal and deception, all kinds of bad emotions related to relationships. But it's the truth. The energy amplifies, the truth reveals, and The truth hurts, but it also shows you the true picture and what should be your action now, how you should deal with these people, how much more energy are you going to invest on these people, how much more emotions are you going to invest on these people, because your emotions, your energy, your thoughts, your words, your action is helping to sustain this whole planet, and everything which was false is breaking apart. It is meant to break apart, and so are the relationships, because relationships were based on the foundation of false belief systems. Belief systems where if somebody is evil to you and you're related to them because of blood relation, it doesn't mean that you have to be in that emotional state where you would continue to suffer just to sustain that relationship. That's not what you have to do. You just have to see the truth, you feel the emotion, you accept it, and you create boundaries, healthy boundaries. You just withdraw your precious energy. You invest that energy in your growth and your happiness, rather than being angry with these people and expecting that they are going to change. Put that energy in yourself. Remind yourself that never ever I'm going to give my precious energy to these people, no matter how much closely I'm related to them. They never cared for me, and they will never in the future also. So if they don't care, why should I care? And that's how it is. It's not tit for tat, but it's about managing your energy efficiently so that you are able to break the matrix, because the whole energetic shift that the earth is going through currently is to collapse the false systems that was running and that was keeping everyone enslaved in this painful world. Because who wants to live a life where you have to like live with false hopes or follow the belief systems or the culture or the customs or anything which is making your life difficult, but you're just following it because that's how you have been conditioned to follow. It's only the conditioning, so just break that conditioning. So the energy is amplifying, the truth is revealing, it's hurtful, it makes you angry, and you want to take the revenge, but it's of no use. You just accept the truth, you see the true faces, you now know what is your worth in their life or in their heart, how much of space they have given to you, and everything is so clear after that. I mean, you don't have to invest on someone emotionally or otherwise also if they are not invested on you. Simple as this, and it's a blessing in disguise. So just accept the truth, feel the pain, of course. You deserve to acknowledge whatever you are feeling currently in that painful relationship of yours, whether it's with your parents, spouse, siblings, anyone else. And then you release it, and then you come to this understanding that they are who they are. It has been revealed. Now I take back my energy and I'm going to invest it on my growth and my happiness, because that's what is going to help me sustain in this changing world. They don't care about me. I also don't care about them. Simple.